Good morning and welcome to REMAX Activate 2020. Activate from home. That's a little different than what we've experienced over the last few years, of course. And in a perfect world, we'd all be in the Frontenac, at the Chateau Frontenac ballroom at this very moment, celebrating Activate 2020. I want to give a shout out, first of all, to Sylvain and Mark and all the crew at REMAX Quebec, because I know they went through a lot of trouble planning and organizing an event for this year. And of course, the year hasn't gone as we would probably like it to have gone. But we thought, well, you know what? We still need to get together and we still need to celebrate, activate, and you know, one thing that I think we all miss over the course of this 2020 pandemic situation is that ability to get together and share with our peers, friends, neighbors, and family, of course. And so, getting together today, we're coming to you. This is a live presentation, by the way, but not everything you see today is going to be live. Some of it will be taped. I'm going to leave that up to you to figure out who's live and who's not. But I want to give a shout out, first of all, to our friends at SW Event Technologies for providing us with this beautiful backdrop here and this stage and the ability to be able to come to you live with a presentation like this. This is not a Zoom call. This is not where we all look at a whole bunch of faces and see things. And that's one of the things that I have a bit of an issue with, because you can see me, but I can't see you. That means I have no idea what hockey jersey Ken Eddy's wearing today. I don't even know how Cam Bird did his hair this morning. Oh, wait. Okay, that's a bad example. Anyway, you get the idea. So we're gonna go through a number of different sessions today, some breakout sessions. We've got some great speakers for you. And so as we move forward, I want to kind of give you an idea of what this looks like. Now, we won't have any formal lunch breaks or dinner breaks or even breakfast breaks for some of you. Now here, we're broadcasting live at 8:30 in the morning here in Kelowna, but the Newfoundlanders have put in a full day already. And we're spanning 4 different time zones today. And by the way, you're not just watching this by yourself. Some of you, as we've seen in some of the comments already, in your jammies, but you're watching with 1,700 of your best friends and REMAX associates across the country and across the continent. So we've got people here from all the way as far east as Newfoundland and Nova Scotia to the Vancouver Island and the West Coast. We're represented by every single province in Canada, including 2 territories. We've got viewers up in Whitehorse, and a big shout out to Kim Knutson up in Yellowknife. We love what you're doing up there, and thanks for joining us today, and everybody else who's joining us. And all across the United States as well, from California to Florida to Arizona. We've got some great REMAX friends that are here with us today. So, and not to mention, I can't forget, REMAX headquarters in Denver. We've got some headquarters staff there, and we're going to hear a little bit from some of those people a little bit later on. But today is because we're in the situation that we're in. I want to explain to you. By now you should have figured out how to work the site, and you've navigated your way around. You know that there's some exhibitor booths there. I want to urge you to go in and take a look. Those are the people that are responsible for us being able to put this show on for you. And you know what? We're going to make some mistakes today. That's one thing I can guarantee you that's going to happen. I'm going to make some mistakes. Get over it. We're live. That's what happens in live television. I had the opportunity over the last couple of days to really get an appreciation for people who do this for a living. Because if you've ever seen me speak before, you know I'm all over the place and I'm running all around the stage. They actually had to pen me in here today. And that's because the camera guys can't follow you around all over the place when you're running around, right? So I got an extra appreciation for what they call now, I guess, meteorologists, or the weather people who bring us the weather every night on television, and they stand in front of those screens. Have you ever seen this? They point, and we have a high-pressure system over here, and they're pointing totally in the wrong direction or wrong spot. And they think, oh, well, that's not very good. You're not good at what you do. Hey, I have no idea what's behind me right now. And if I turn to look at that, then I'm not able to share with you. So this is a different experience for all of us, and something that I hope you appreciate. And you know, when we can't see your faces and can't see the audience, it's difficult. But here's what we did. I brought my own audience with me today, okay? We've got a huge enthusiastic crowd over here, and I'd like to have a camera shot of there. Can we see them? Look at that, look at that. If you hear some muffled applause at some point in time, guess what? That's where it comes from. And by the way, this looks very much like it does at the office on a typical day. You know, they're all sitting around cocktail tables enjoying while Roy's doing all the work. That's pretty much how it goes, right? Anyway, okay, first up on the agenda, we've got a welcome from our CEO of REMAX LLC. And I gotta say, you know, this guy took us through what could have been a really difficult year, and he took control right from the start. We had what we call an all-hands meeting, and he sat everybody down and he basically said, look guys, I know our competitors are pulling the covers over their heads and they can't figure out what's going on, but we got this. We got a plan, and here's what we're gonna do. And you know what? I can't be prouder of the organization and you as individuals and what you've done. Those of you who are the true professionals in the business, you've taken a situation that could have been catastrophic for our business. And in fact, the truth is, we are breaking records in some markets. So I'm going to turn things over right now to REMAX CEO, Adam Contos.
Thank you, Roy, and hello, everyone. It's good to be with you all virtually. I had a wonderful time at Activate in Banff last year and was really looking forward to being in Quebec. But even though being together in person isn't possible, Elton and the team have built a great program for you today. So let's get started. This year has been very different, very challenging. We've all had to adjust. More virtual meetings and events, finding ways to still come together like this. We've learned a lot about social distancing, masks, the importance of washing our hands for at least 20 seconds. We also shifted to meet new needs of our consumers. Many of us went all virtual for part of the summer. No one knows how long we'll be dealing with coronavirus, but it's safe to say it will be with us for the near future. So the health and safety of everyone around us remains top priority. But as much as 2020 is different, it's also very much the same. People are still buying and selling real estate every day. And many of them want the skills and expertise of a REMAX agent, especially in Canada, where you've been number one for a long, long time. Why REMAX? Because of you and the reputation of this amazing brand. A brand people know, like, and trust, built on a foundation laid by the work of thousands of REMAX agents over many years. So where does that put us as we move into 2021? It puts us, all of you, in a great position for what should be a big year ahead. Here are 5 action items for you as you close out this year and start the next one. First, remember, top of mind is first in line. This is one of my favorite sayings, so critical in a business like ours. That's why you hear me say it a lot. There are 2 components to this. First is the REMAX brand, the most well-known real estate brand in Canada. People know and trust the brand. They value what it represents. Skill, ability, quality. It will help you get in the door, and then you take it from there. The other component is you and your visibility and brand in your market. It's crucial that you're visible and accessible in times like these. Some brokers and agents went into hiding. They furloughed themselves. REMAX people didn't make that mistake, and that visibility adds to your advantages. Number 2, be a leader and build community. REMAX is a network of leaders. It's part of our DNA. So whether you're a broker or an agent, be a leader. Take action. Reach out to your prospects and contacts. Calls are better than texts, as we know. And no selling, just checking in, seeing how they are. Find out if they need your help. Care. Don't even talk about real estate. Listen to them. They'll shift it to business if they need something from you. Otherwise, just be their resource and their friend. If you haven't been doing this throughout the year, do it now. There's an old adage. It goes like this. The best time to plant a tree is 25 years ago. The second best is today. Get over your fear. You're in the business of making connections. So get started in making those connections every day. Third point, deploy video to create scale. To supplement your calls, use video to get your message out. We've all been on video this year. Whether or not you know it, you've been on it. Zoom calls, FaceTime. We're all more comfortable now. It's time to go deeper. Use that comfort and build your video skills. Not using it to sell. It's using it to let people see and hear you. See you being real, transparent, trustworthy. So make sure you're providing value and content that actually helps people. Put it on social media. Use BombBomb. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just put it out. So, as my coach John Cheplak always tells me, a bad video beats a non-existent video every time. Fourth key tip here. Use your brand advantages. It's a very competitive world right now, so use your brand advantages. Marketing, tech, REMAX University, the referral network, these are powerful only if you use them. And the number one advantage, look around you. It's the people in our network. The power of association. You'll see it in action every day. Top pros sharing their best ideas. In fact, Jim Rohn says, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You're spending time with some great people right now. So let's keep getting better. I can't say that enough. You're with the best brand. So put it to work for you. And finally, number 5, build your business with kindness. I say this a lot in business because we forget about people. One lesson to come from all of this is the importance of being kind to each other. Start making deposits in the emotional account. People will respond if they know you care about them. If you put yourself in their shoes, if you're authentic, transparent, and offer clarity to help them. Because right now, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. People are looking for help. They can find a realtor anywhere. Let them see the advantage of finding you. Bottom line, elevate the experience for everyone you work with, and you'll position yourself for long-term success. Those are 5 thoughts I wanted to share with you today. I hope you find value in them. Enjoy the rest of Activate today. This is just the start of a terrific program. I wish I was there with you. But I want to say thanks for participating and for all you do each and every day. And especially, thank you for being with REMAX. Back to you, Roy.
Thank you, Adam. I wish I could hear the applause and the laughter going on right now, but you know what? That's the epitome of what this organization is all about. And one of the things I want to make a real point of right now is that many of our competitors got caught up in this idea that technology was going to take over our industry. You need a guy like Adam Contos every once in a while to remind you that we are in a relationship business. That's a people business, not a technology business. Technology helps us be way more efficient at what we do, but when you come right down to it, this is a people business. And I love the people in this organization and this industry. It's been my life. And speaking of that, I have had the distinct pleasure of working with somebody for the last 20 years who I think has put a tremendous amount of hard work and a tremendous amount of dedication into this organization. And I'm going to bring him up in just a second here to share with you. We're going to keep things moving pretty fast today, people coming in and coming out. But one thing I want to remind you is take advantage of the chat feature and the make some comments on there. There's no good or bad comments. Even the person who thought there was too much of Roy Anderson looping before we got started today, I'm okay with that. I agree with you. I wouldn't watch that either. Anyway, at this point in time, I want to bring up a good friend of mine who I've had the pleasure to work with for these many years, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about what's going on and what we've seen in Canada and what's happening in the real estate industry. So please join me in welcoming Western Canada Regional Vice President Elton Ash.
Thanks, Roy. Good morning and welcome once again to Activate at Home. 1 year ago, we were meeting in Banff, enjoying a sold-out convention with great energy and enthusiasm. The opening session with Adam Contos and Chris Alexander was a tremendous amount of fun, and we ended the conference with a great Halloween party that had amazing costumes and entertainment. None of us imagined at that time that we would be here today entering our 9th month in Canada of a worldwide pandemic, experiencing total uncertainty with a completely crashed economy in April, on to record-breaking real estate sales months in August and September. So what's ahead of us? Given what we have experienced this past 12 months, no one can predict what we will be looking at in 2021. This economic cycle has defied all predictability and previous experiences. But there are predictable causes and effects based on how we as humans react to stresses and how we can plan our future around those traits. Our REMAX organization, with your experience and local brand presence, is ideally positioned to carry us through whatever challenge is thrown our way. When faced with uncertainty, people go to the proven, well-known brands that provide the experience and knowledge to assist them during uncertain times. All of us fall back on this practice in all things we do. As we look back to how we reacted to the panic that was occurring, we remained calm. We kept our focus on what would be best for the organization, and we moved in a caring, responsible way to assure people at the height of the pandemic response in April and May. At the same time, we worked to adjust our business plan and budgets to provide economic relief when needed. We knew we needed to maintain our brand presence with the most effective and direct marketing program that recognized what was going on so as not to appear tone deaf, but at the same time be seen as a guiding real estate organization to assist families when needed. I want to express how much we appreciated the input we received from our broker owners and sales associates, but most importantly, how our local GA committees really stepped up to work with us to ensure the proper messaging went out and we were able to achieve great brand presence in the reduced economic reality we faced. The result of which, we have now experienced record-setting sales volumes. Consumers, home shoppers see our organization, the REMAX offices and sales associates, as adding true value to their housing needs at this time. I'm truly proud of each of you as to how you came forward in your local communities, provided the kind, caring, and thoughtful leadership that was needed, and for that matter, is still needed. We will have COVID-19 in our everyday life for some time to come. With that in mind, it is critical to use the tools and resources we provide to maintain and grow your business. Nick Bailey, our Chief Customer Officer in Denver, often refers to Jack Canfield's success principle. Event plus response equals outcome. We can't control the event. We have 100% control over how we react to the event with our response. I've seen too many times people blaming the event as to the outcome they are experiencing. People can blame any number of factors or events as to why they are not getting the outcome they want. It is really all about how you respond. Successful people who enjoy tremendous outcomes realize it is all about how they change their response. We can't blame the event. All we can do is focus on our response. Now, I've seen tremendous examples of this over the past few months within our own organization. Broker owners and sales associates that immediately recognized they had to change or adjust their previously made plans to get through the economic crisis we were facing in April and May are now reaping their rewards. They remain calm. They took a caring leadership position and moved forward in a focused manner, assisting and consulting, coming out of this achieving great results. So now let's shift gears for a moment and look forward to how I expect the market to be reacting over the next few months and what you might want to consider in developing your business plans for the remainder of this year into 2021. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, our experience this year has been completely unprecedented. So what I'm going to speak to is really relying on my past 40 years of experience with real estate buying cycles. Now, we've just experienced a buying spree that has been completely unpredicted. At the least, the veracity of it was unexpected. I told the media outlets back in April and May that we fully anticipated a U-shaped recovery that would likely flatten in the fall with the typical post-recession recovery trending up through most of 2021 to fully recover to pre-pandemic levels. I referred to the March, April, May period as the great pause of 2020, with recovery coming in the summer. Now looking back, I was partially right in that we did experience a recovery in the summer, but rather than U-shaped, it was V-shaped, hitting pre-pandemic levels much earlier than expected. But I think there will be a hangover. At the very least, I feel it is prudent to be prepared for a hangover. And by hangover, I mean a change and shift in the market in the coming months. Historically, when we see such fervent market activity, we see it followed by a market pause for a period of time. This is caused by the emotion that takes over a market. People get involved just because of the energy that's being generated by the market itself. In other words, markets, whether they are moving up or moving down, become self-generating for a period of time. The crowd takes over. The Great Pause is a perfect example of this in the other direction. We saw demand wane immediately due to the pandemic crisis. The previous kinetic market energy stalled and became passive energy. In other words, buyers were sidelined, but like a traffic jam, that demand remained and kept building to what we describe as pent-up demand. Then people started to feel more confident in June. The economic shock in the home shopping demographic, and by home shopping demographic, I mean those families that had the ability to buy or sell their home. The economic shock in that sector of our demographic wasn't as great as what we thought it would be. In fact, if you were in the high-tech sector, it was a great time to be in business. So we had this huge pent-up demand that spilled into the market once again, but with even greater energy, so we saw a huge recovery. So much so that I feel we have had people come into the market as part of this emotional excitement that occurs that might have come into the market at a later date in the future. So what this means to me is that we will likely feel a small pause in the market through the winter months. Of course, this could all be pure conjecture, but logically, it makes sense to me. And I think it's prudent to be aware of this potential likelihood and make plans with your business in this regard. So look for a bit of a market pause as we come in through the winter months. Given the long-term stability the Bank of Canada has announced to these historically low interest rates and the need for our economy to continue to recover Any pause will likely be relatively short term, with more balanced markets following. Now, as for our organizational targets, we continue to focus on building our new tools and resources for you to leverage. Our home valuation tool, as well as the latest listings and coming soon feature on REMAX.ca, leads the industry to empower the home shopper. Our background work continues as we look to introduce Bouge and the First.io platform to Canada. Unfortunately, we've been delayed in our Canadian deployment due to resource management issues during the pandemic. Nevertheless, we are totally committed, and we will see a 2021 rollout of these specific tools in Canada. REMAX affiliates lead the industry, pivoting to the technological world of tools. The use of virtual tours such as Matterport and using Box Brownie, using Zoom for conferencing or BombBomb for virtual messaging, or leveraging Design Center with home listing presentations, you have shown that you are the true leaders in the industry. We will continue to develop and work with the latest tools and trends to ensure you have the leverage you need to develop and grow your business. Yes, we continue to live in interesting times. I can't express strongly enough how much we truly appreciate each and every one of you. Your hard work and dedication in serving your clients' and customers' best interests during this unprecedented time is amazing. Over the years, REMAX affiliates have always exhibited true leadership, no matter the challenge. Forest fires, hurricanes, recessions, or pandemics, REMAX affiliates always rise to the challenge and succeed. Once again, thank you for everything you do.
And thank you, Elton. Did I mention earlier that Elton's the guy who's always going around the office cracking jokes and getting everybody laughing and all that kind of stuff? And oh, wait a minute. No, that's me. Okay. Talking about pioneers in the REMAX organization, Walter Schneider and his partner, Frank Polsler, are responsible for bringing the REMAX brand to Canada in the first place. And we owe a lot to them. I was very fortunate about a year and a half ago to be there in person when Walter was named as one of the Foster Foundation Man of the Year. And they don't give those to just anybody. That's a true professional who's put his heart and soul and given back to the communities. We also have coming up here Victor Dodig, who's the CEO of CIBC. Victor and Walter are going to explain to you a new partnership program that has been formed between REMAX and CIBC. So let's have a look at the video.
For more than 40 years, REMAX is known to be the worldwide real estate leader, achieving our goals by helping others achieve theirs. About 18 months ago, at a social event, I met Victor Dodig, the CEO of CIBC, and I was intrigued by their enthusiasm and their commitment to becoming Canada's national mortgage leaders.
At CIBC, we are committed to serving our clients and helping to make their ambitions a reality. That's why we take great pride in working alongside companies like REMAX and individuals like you, who are as client-focused as we are.
We thought that this could be the beginning of an interesting and profitable and fruitful partnership between both ourselves at REMAX and CIBC.
A lot has changed in the past few months, and our bank is evolving. Our CIBC mobile mortgage advisors are meeting with clients when and where they want, including virtual meetings. We're also providing brokers and agents with the right financial tools to support your business.
After a number of informal meetings with CIBC and some discussions in late 2019, we felt it was the perfect opportunity for us to strike a partnership with this national bank.
The path to home ownership takes a team of dedicated professionals who understand their clients' needs and are committed to setting them up for success. As we continue to grow our partnership with you, We are excited to leverage new opportunities to foster strong, long-standing relationships that put our clients' needs at the heart of everything we do together.
I know they are committed to helping you, the realtor, become the most successful realtor that you can possibly be and make the mortgage transaction as seamless as possible. We look forward to a long, successful, and fruitful partnership with CIBC, and we thank you for supporting this program. We wish you an incredible convention and look forward to seeing you in person soon.
Thank you, Walter and Victor, for your comments on our new bank relationship. We are very excited to formally announce our new national banking partner, CIBC. CIBC's commitment to aggressively grow their mortgage lending portfolio fits very well into our own plans as we continue to lead the real estate brokerage industry in Canada. It is critical for us to continually seek out partners that are complementary to our own philosophical goals and move with us as home shopper demands change. The overall paradigm shift to consumer empowerment has shifted our real estate landscape. CIBC is just as committed as we are to giving today's home buyers and sellers the best overall experience possible, ensuring that no matter what stage of life our customers and clients are in, what their personal preferences are, or what their previous home shopping experience has been, we together will provide the best service available. Take advantage of the CIBC mortgage advisor that is serving your office and use their expertise to assist you in providing convenient and effective mortgage consultation. In return, not only will you receive great service, but you will also receive rewards as determined by your provincial regulator that can be used in a variety of ways. Over the past 40 years, we have lived the everybody wins philosophy. Our new REMAX CIBC relationship continues this tradition. Back to you, Roy.
All right. Thanks a lot, Elton, for those terrific words. By the way, anytime you see those, what they call bumpers, where the Activate at Home logo comes on, that's an indication of what's coming up and what you're going to see in the next part of the program. And we will be taking, I mentioned earlier, we won't have any formal dinner, lunch breaks, or whatever that is, because we don't know what time zone you're in anyway. But we will be taking some 10, 15-minute breaks periodically, and we got some of those coming up. So if you want to use those opportunities to go refill your coffee or whatever else is you need to do in those times, please take advantage of that. And we'll try and let you know, give you some heads up on that. We do have a great lineup today. Some of the tremendous speakers that we have. First up, as you saw on the bumper there, is Travis Robertson, great real estate coach that we've been a friend of the REMAX family for many years. Benjamin Tall, you're going to want to hear what's going on economy-wise. Elton touched on the sort of a couple of those points, and you're going to hear from Benjamin, who's the chief economist. That's the word I'm looking for. He's an economist. And then we got a couple of great REMAX professionals, Sarah Kalki and Justin Haver, that you're not going to want to miss those sessions. One thing I find about the top people in this real estate industry is they're really not afraid to share their expertise and their secrets, so to speak. There's no secrets in real estate, and REMAX has proven that over and over and over again. And so then we're moving on, shifting gears a little bit with Tina Verghese, who I'm really looking forward to. She's going to talk a little bit about how to deal with diversity, and certainly that's something we have a lot of in Canada, and it's a hot topic right now, and it should be. And then we're going to finish the day with James Cunningham, who's going to give us a little, I think we're calling this comedy and cocktails or something like that. And it's going to give us a little chance to relax. I know you saw the REMAX crew here. They're all starting already. I mean, Elton's finished his speech. Now he's over there cracking a beer. So it's all good. Don't worry about it. I'll get there at 4 o'clock. And of course, in the middle of the day, the one hard thing you're going to have to do today is pick which breakout session you're going to want to go to. And it's pretty simple. Just tick on the 4 different choices there, and we got some great options for you. The only one that's, I don't want to say restricted, but it's designed. Nick Bailey's speaking directly to the franchise owners and managers, and if you're not one of those, you probably won't want to hear it. But certainly, if you are a franchise owner and manager, you do not want to miss that. Okay, that brings me to our next guest here today, and most of you are familiar with our Manager of Corporate Affairs, Marie Sheppy. Marie, as part of her duty at REMAX Western Canada, also administers the Children's Miracle Network account. And so we are going to have Marie come up here in a minute to talk about what's happening. And I want to emphasize first, before Marie gets here, that use the chat, use the donate button, all those things that are on there. And we're going to be giving away a bunch of prizes, and Marie will come and talk about that. But you are all eligible. If you're here listening now, you're eligible for all the prizes that we're going to give away, and we're going to start doing that. And there's some really good ones if you've had the chance to look at the site a little bit. So let's, at this point, I'd like to bring up Marie Sheppy and let her give you an explanation of what's going on in the world of Children's Miracle Network. Marie?
Thanks, Roy. Good morning and afternoon to each of you. Since 1992, REMAX has been a proud supporter of Children's Miracle Network, and our children's hospitals are incredibly grateful for your continued commitment over the years. 2020 has been an unprecedented year for unexpected changes for all of us, and children's hospital foundations are not immune. They are anticipating as high as a 50% shortfall in projected funds. Our children's hospitals rely on programs like our REMAX Miracle Home program. However, a large portion of their funds are generated from events hosted by corporate partners, employees, or affiliates. A great example of this would be our Activate conference last year, where attendees raised $100,000 in 24 hours. Due to recent restrictions to help minimize the spread of COVID-19, this has drastically decreased donations to our children's hospital. This year, there has been a 75% increase in emergency room visits related to mental health issues. Also, medical research, specialized services, and personalized treatments are currently at risk should this pandemic continue into 2021. A great many of you across Canada are incredibly passionate about the health of our future leaders, and right now, our children's hospitals are urgently needing our help. We are asking during these unprecedented times to make a one-time gift in addition to your Miracle Home program participation. The moment is now, and the opportunity is ours to never leave a generation behind. Given the market resurgence, we are currently seeing historical highs in unit sales and home prices, and this would be an optimal time to make your one-time gift. By clicking on the Donate Now button at the top right-hand corner of your screen, you will be helping your local children's hospital, and you'll receive a tax-deductible receipt. We're continually looking for creative ways to provide additional fundraising initiatives. Now, due to the number of requests sent in by you, we have created a Miracle Store, and this was provided and created by Apple Valley Promotions. A portion of all sales from this site will be donated to your local children's hospital. Now, keep in mind, some of the products have minimum amounts, so you may want to partner up with others or your Children's Miracle Network committees and make a group purchase. Now, this site is only open for 2 weeks, so make sure you make your order prior to November 6th. Apple Valley Promotions also has a virtual exhibitors booth, so make sure to check that out and click on the Miracle Mall button at the top right-hand side of your screen. Now, other exhibitors and sponsors that are part of today's event also wanted to be part of the fundraising initiatives and have donated some incredible prizes that will be drawn throughout the day. So make sure you click on the Donate Now. Everyone's going to be entered. thank you so much for your passion, commitment, and generosity. If we change the health of children, we change the health of Canada. Back to you, Roy.
Thanks so much, Marie. And why don't you come and join me here? We hear so often at conferences about the impact that donations have on families. And maybe you can tell us a little bit more about particularly REMAX families that we've seen in the past. And maybe you can share a little bit about what's happening in that vein.
Absolutely.
Mind doing that?
Absolutely. So if any of you have attended our conferences, Activate, they were typically called Breakfast of Champions or our Ice Cream Social. And a really good part of that is when we have our champion families. And our champion families share their stories about their experience with one of our children's hospitals. And today is no different. We have Laura June and her son Steve sharing their personal story about their experience at BC Children's Hospital. And this is a really great example of how they received the right care at the right time in the right place. Let's take a look.
So I was sitting in my office, just working. Call came in, and it was actually from the doctor's office. And they said, they've taken a look at his x-ray, and we have now been referred to the oncology department at BC Children's Hospital. I don't think you're ever ready to hear that. He sat me down and told me what he thought it was, and that likely, they had to confirm it, but likely he had osteosarcoma.
As a 12-year-old, I could see that my mom was very upset. But when you're 12, you don't really understand why she's this upset. I just thought, there's just something wrong with my leg. Let's just get it fixed. I didn't really understand the magnitude of what it could be or couldn't be.
There was no way of knowing until they performed a surgery to get the tumor out, biopsy it, and then they would know for sure. The only way that they could get that tumor to biopsy it would be that they would have to actually have him knocked out in a CT machine and literally core out the tumor out of his leg and then biopsying it and seeing. That's the only way to know 100%. Stephen had something more rare than osteosarcoma. He had something called an osteoblast. His was actually benign, doing nothing. If anything unusual like that showed up, and that's something to go on for the rest of his life.
Spent the remainder of that whole hockey season and football season just watching friends and not actually really playing.
But he was no longer active, so he gained a lot of weight, and his self-esteem, all of that, that was hard. He had a really hard emotional comeback into it. He was also out of sports for almost a year because of just healing time and the whole thing. It took a whole year to get back into a hockey season. I didn't know he was even relentlessly bullied at school.
Yeah, growing up I was always kind of bullied. Trying to find new friends was a little difficult, but I got through it, and I've actually met a lot of wonderful people on the way.
In retrospect, I wish I was better at picking up the signs. I don't think I picked up on the signs of how much this really was affecting him and how these changes at 1 year really did take a toll on him and how he looked at things. I didn't appreciate that or understand that.
I cannot stress enough how much I'm grateful for the people I have in my life now. You're not alone. That's the biggest thing, really, is there are other kids who are going through the same things, whether it be going through a medical procedure or bullying. You just need to know that it'll always get better in the end.
I was so blessed because my story in the end was fine. But how many? It's not. They don't have that result, and that breaks my heart. My favorite month of the year to work in is August. That is the month of miracles. I always increase my donations that month, and it's the month that I actually set goals to donate more money to CMN than in any other month. To be associated with a company who has such a close relationship with a cause that means so much to me and so much to so many families. I'm just so proud to be part of that.
Take a deep breath. I want to thank Laura June for taking the time to tell her story, and that's really heartwarming. It made me think of something that, Marie, that you said earlier about the fact that fundraising is down 50% in the year of 2020, and it's a little more difficult to raise funds for children's hospitals. And, you know, perhaps I heard you mention something about the miracle, season of miracles, I guess you referred to it as. And maybe you can elaborate a little bit on that, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. You're right, Bruce Johnson. Let's make every home a miracle home. Thank you for posting that in the notes. Thank you. Yes, as I mentioned just earlier, we are seeing a 50% decline to the projected funds into our children's hospitals. And right now, we are urgently needing to step up and help. So we have created in the fourth quarter of this year our season of miracles. And we are looking to raise in a 6-week campaign $1 million. Now, I know that's a huge amount of money. However, given that we raised $100,000 with 650 attendees within 24 hours, I believe we can make this happen. And there's two components to how I believe, and we all believe, that this is doable during this 6-week campaign. So today is the pre-launch of that campaign. We go live with it on the 26th to December 4th. So here's how you can help. There's 2 ways. If you make a donation, you'll receive an email back to you asking you, would you consider being an influencer? How you become an influencer is by spreading the word across our Canada region and to reach our other 21,000 agents. We really need everybody's help to make this happen. So when you receive that email, again, it's going to ask you if you would like to be an influencer. So how you would participate is, on the screen you're going to see what the Facebook frame looks like. The Facebook frame is only provided through a link to those people that donate. Then you will be given a link to a Dropbox where you can add the following Facebook cover. The cover to be added to your background. What this is going to look like, if you look on your screen, additionally, you'll receive a copy and paste information for you to post on your wall. Now, what that is doing is it's asking other people to participate and why you've donated, and here's how. The other way to be an influencer is, I know not everybody may be able to donate. So we will provide you with a background saying, I care about kids. You post that on your Facebook, and you're going to receive this email on the 26th. We're sending an email out to every single agent across Canada with the instructions. There may be a video accompanying that just to talk about it. However, if you're unable to donate, we still need your help in spreading the word across Canada to all our other affiliates. The email will be sent. You post the cover picture that says, I care about children's health, and then post the Facebook notes on your wall to spread the word about this campaign. Now, this is incredibly important because specialized services and personalized programs that have been put in place, as I just mentioned, are in danger of being discontinued should this pandemic go into 2021. And we just saw Laura June and Steve's story, again, how they were able to receive the right care at the right time, at the right place. We want to be able to provide that to every single sick and injured children across Canada, which is 2.6 million children that visit a children's hospital each and every year. I really thank you for taking this time. I really thank you for considering to help us. The time is now. Please help us. And that's it. Back to you, Roy.
Thank you so much, Marie, for everything that you do for REMAX and particularly for the Children's Miracle Network. We really do appreciate that. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Okay. Woo-wee. All right. Next up, we've got, as we mentioned, we're giving away 6 door prizes have been donated by generous sponsors of our program today. And I think I mentioned this earlier. Every single one of you has your name in there, so don't worry about the fact that you haven't put your name in a barrel or anything like that. We're going to be drawing the first one shortly. And so we do urge you, though, to take a look if you can and have a look at the REMAX Miracle store. That's where, as you saw my colleagues earlier, got these cool little masks from, and they're branded REMAX and Children's Miracle Network. So if you can order those and use them in your daily business, that would be awesome, because a donation will be made to your local children's hospital when you do that. So, as I mentioned earlier, we were trying to keep an eye on, oh man, okay, hang on. Breaking news before we get to giving away our prize. I gotta, this doesn't surprise me in the very least. The donate button on there to donate money to your local children's hospital, we've explained that already. The first one to go in there and make a donation was Leo Bruno from REMAX All Points in Coquitlam. What a surprise. This guy is always jumping on. He's got a heart of gold and is always jumping on opportunities like this and gives so much back. And as I mentioned earlier, that's what I love about this whole organization. But what Leo has done is he's challenging all those in attendance and all his friends, and he's got lots of them, to either meet or beat his donation, which was $100 to CMN hospitals. So thank you so much, Leo, for all that you do, man. And so before, okay, I got to mention this one too. Okay, this is equally as exciting. REMAX of Lake Cowichan. We have a couple of new broker owners over there, Jennifer Allen and Allie Earl. And they've got together in their small town of Lake Cowichan, probably 5 or 6 associates, I believe, in the office. And they've made a donation of $1,000 to Children's, I guess BC Children's Hospital it would be. And they're challenging all the other small market offices in the system to either meet or beat their donation of $1,000. Well, thank you so much. Those kind of stories are just the kind of stuff that we live for. And so please don't forget to use the chat feature, converse with your friends, goad them into whatever you feel like you can do. But anyways, I digress, because we do have a prize to give away. And our first prize is a Nespresso bundle, and I think you've seen some of the advertising for it. It was donated by REMAX, and REMAX is a back office software for real estate organizations. They've been very, very successful across Canada and are breaking into the Western Canadian market and have been friends of REMAX for a number of years now. And so we urge you to visit them at their booth and have a look and see what they do. So let's get to the winner. And the first draw winner for the Nespresso bundle is Selena Jansen from REMAX Crest Realty in Burnaby, BC. Congratulations, Selena. And Selena, she's a regular attendee at Activate conferences, and I'm so happy for you. That will be shipped out to you. Don't worry about collecting it. It will be shipped out to your office sometime in the next few days. So before we get to our featured speaker this morning, all of this stuff got me thinking about one of my favorite speakers that I've seen at Activate conferences over the past number of years was a fellow by the name of John Herdman. And those of you who may have been in the audience in Whistler about 5 years ago, John spoke to us at that Activate conference in Whistler, and something resonated with me. He was talking about, for those of you who don't know, John Herdman was at the time he spoke for us, he was the coach of the Canadian women's soccer team. They tremendous success with the team, and one of the highest regarded teams in the world while John was coaching with them. And they had a player on that team by the name of Christine Sinclair, who I think is absolutely fabulous. She's retired now keeps threatening to retire, the leading goal scorer ever in women's soccer. So John was explaining what the difference was between a high-producing professional like Christine Sinclair and just the average soccer player. And it resonated with me because he talked about all the usual things, the first one to practice, worked harder than everybody else, last one to leave, always encouraging her teammates, always being that person that you want to be around and bringing out the best of everybody around her. And he finished talking about her by saying that on top of it all, in his lovely Scottish accent, he said, "She's a bloody good person." And then he went on to say that if you want to be successful in any business or any industry, I don't care what you do, start by being a bloody good person. And that's resonated with me, and I always think about that when I listen to stories like we've just shared now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring out our first keynote speaker. As I mentioned earlier, Travis Robertson is no stranger to the REMAX organization. He's the founder and CEO of Don't Settle Coaching. He's been recognized by Inman News as one of the top 10 real estate speakers, top 10 coaches in the real estate industry, having trained tens of thousands of agents over the years. And I know you're going to enjoy what he's got to say to you this morning, so please, without further ado, let's welcome. I wish we could welcome him in person, but let's pretend, okay? Put your hands together or whatever you're doing, and let's welcome, coming to us by satellite from Florida, his home in Florida, Travis Robertson. Twice.
Hey REMAX Canada, it's Coach Travis Robertson, and I am so excited to be with you guys, if only virtually today. Now, my hope would have been that we could have done this live in person like we did last year, but obviously 2020 had very different plans for all of us. So we're going to make do with the best that we've got, which is this. And I just want to extend my thank you to the REMAX Western Canada team for putting this whole thing together. It takes a lot of work to pull off an online event, and this is no exception. They're working very hard behind the scenes, and so thank you guys so much for inviting me and for all of you for carving out the time to be here. Now, what I want to talk with you about is what I call the high performance agent game plan. I want to show you how over the next 12 months, you can propel your business into the top 1% of agents in your market, even if you're brand new or just getting started, or maybe you're coming off of a really challenging year for you. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant if you understand the 5-step process that I'm going to share with you today. Now, I think we can all agree that there are some very real challenges facing the real estate industry right now. And let's be honest, there were challenges before 2020 began. It's not like 2020 brought challenges. It's that the challenges evolved in 2020, and then we threw a worldwide pandemic into the whole mix. But even before it all, I think we can agree that the industry was moving and evolving at a very, very rapid pace. And it wasn't slowing down. It was getting more intense, more chaotic, more stressful, more challenging. And there were more agents entering the market, and that created a larger group of people fighting over a smaller segment of the pie. And what we can look at is we can say, okay, if there are challenges facing the industry, is it still possible for you to hit your goals, your targets, regardless of what's going on in the market? And I know without a shadow of a doubt that there is. But you got to understand what it is. And today is really about showing you today how to close that gap between where you are and where you ultimately desire to be in your business. And it's a very simple process. It's not complicated. I think a lot of times in this industry, we overcomplicate things. We make things harder than they really have to be. But if you understand the principles and you understand the framework, it's going to help you with everything that you're learning about today or that you've learned about in this conference even. Because you're going to be hearing from all sorts of speakers and trainers and people who are designed and hoping to help you get the maximum out of your business over the next 12 months and beyond. And if you don't have a framework to really wrap around all of it and understand how to fit it all in and figure out what's best for you and how to make it work for you, then you can suffer from what we call SOS, shiny object syndrome. And that can lead to a lot of chaos and stress. So what I want to do is I want to simplify it. I want to give you a framework and some strategies that you can use starting right now in your business to transform the way you close out 2020 and the way you set up 2021 to be your best year yet, and to really be a launching pad for what's next in your business and ultimately your career. So before we dive in, why don't I just talk briefly about why listen to me? Because some of you, you've seen me speak, you've met in person, we've met in person, and others, maybe you're new to this and you're new to me and you're new to who I am. And so let me just boil it down this way. I could read through all of this and you can read through it if you really want, but the things that I'm most proud of on this list are the fourth item, which is that our average coaching client right now is earning $516,187 a year in gross commission income. That's average. And that's across all of our programs. And I'm very proud of that because those are lives and businesses transformed and changed. And they're doing it by following what I'm going to teach you here today. And our average client, just in the first 10 weeks of working with us across all of our programs, is going to put an additional 4 contracts under contract into escrow. And I know it works a little different up there in Canada, but basically that's signing 4 new deals. And our average client closes 2 to 5 additional deals per month after joining with us, after working with us and setting their business up over the first 10 weeks to really set it up so that they came in doing 3, they're doing somewhere between 5 and 8 after those first 10 weeks. That's what I'm most proud of. And it's all because of what I'm going to lay out here for you today. So it's a 5-step process. We're going to dive right in, and I want you to get ready to take notes because here it comes. The first step in all of this, the first step in this process is you have to make some decisions. You have to decide. And there are actually 3 things that you need to decide right now in your business, in your life. Number 1 is this: you must decide to evolve. Because we know the industry is moving at a rapid pace. We know it's changing. But the problem is too many people are playing a 2020 game by 1995 rules. They're using the same strategies, the same tactics that they used before Facebook and Google and internet and social media, and the fact that every person is connected to 10, 15, 20 different agents online. If you're still trying to use the same strategies from the 90s and just slap a little lipstick on him and drag him kicking and screaming into 2020 and into 2021, it's not going to work at the same level. You've got to evolve your strategies. And I think that there are too many agents that are just doing what they've always done, or they're listening to agents that have been in the business for 15, 20 years, and they're like, well, this is how I got started. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. And the world's evolved since you got started in the business. And if you're still using the same strategies, or if you're listening to agents that are saying the same thing that they've been saying for 20 or 30 years, you're going to get left behind. I mean, that's just the reality in today's world. You must decide to evolve because what we know, the stats bear it out. In fact, the National Association of Realtors just released their latest stats for the 2019, member profile, like the member agent profile. And what we're seeing is that what agents are doing today is not working. We're seeing a disappearance of the middle class. More and more of the business is controlled by a smaller and smaller percentage of the agents. Nowadays, the median production for a first-year agent is 0 deals. That means over half of agents are doing fewer than 1 deal, which means 0 deals. And the average is only 1 deal in the first year, $8,900. And it doesn't get better for somebody that's been in the industry longer. It's less than 6 figures. Only 27% of agents ever make $100,000 a year gross commission income. That's gross. And it's gross. There's so much more available to every single one of you. And I want to get you into that top 1%, those agents making $500,000 a year or more. But you've got to change the way you're approaching the business. You must decide to leave behind the tired old strategies of yesteryear and adopt new strategies for what's working in 2020 and what's going to be moving forward, how people are doing business, how your clients want to be engaged with, how they're going to be choosing their agent and selecting their agent. And you got to be able to separate yourself in this market. I'm going to show you how to do that today. The second thing you need to decide is you must decide what you want. What do you actually want from your business, from your life, from your income? Most people never get really decisive about what they want. They have an idea, a vague notion of, I'd like to make more money. And, we talk with agents all day long, my team and I. And it's really interesting when we ask them, what do you want from your business? They're like, I don't know. I want to make more money. But the problem is just wanting to make more money isn't going to get you where you want to go. You've got to get crystal clear. You can have this business any way you want, but you have to know what you're after. For example, how much money do you want to make in 2021? In fact, write it down. Don't write down what's reasonable. Don't write down what's a socially acceptable number, or what do I think is a good target, but nothing too big. I want to know what you actually want from your business. How much money do you want to make? How many transactions do you want to do? How many families do you want to help? How many sellers do you want to help sell their home? Buyers do you want to help buy a house? Write that number down. This is your business. How many days off do you want to take in 2021? What would that look like? And I don't mean working from an exotic location. I mean actually taking a vacation without your phone attached to your head or to your hip and wondering, oh my gosh, I got to get to an internet cafe. I got to get somewhere where there's Wi-Fi so that I can actually close this deal because I'm just paying money to go work from an exotic location. I mean a legitimate trip. How many vacations do you actually want? Have you really sat down to think about what do you want your nights to look like? How many weekends do you want to work? Do you want to work weekends? Do you want to work nights? Or do you want your business to be different? See, you never default into the ideal. You will always default into what's easy. And what's easy is to be a workaholic. What's easy is to have no boundaries. What's easy is to just work the deals that are coming, but when it's not coming, I don't know what to do. And it's feast, famine, roller coaster. That's normal. That's why so many agents are just struggling in this business, because they're defaulting rather than deciding what it is that they ultimately want. So what do you want? Take a second, write it down. Get clear on what you want from this business. Because if you don't decide, somebody else is going to decide for you, and they're never going to decide to give you the best of what you're capable of achieving. The third thing you have to decide is why you want it. Why do you actually want to have that business? See, we say it this way: the strength of your why will determine your outcome. The stronger your why, the stronger your reason, the stronger your goal, the more inspiring your goal and the bigger the why, the more likely you are to hit it. So why do you want to make that amount of money? Why do you want to have those many days off? Whatever it is, what is your why? What is your purpose? So I want you to take a second. I want you to think about it, because we talk with agents all the time. Okay, great. You want to make $250,000 a year. Why do you want to make $250,000 a year? And I don't know. I mean, it sounds awesome. Who doesn't want to make $250,000 a year? I'm like, agents making $500,000 do not want to make $250,000 next year. They want to make $500,000 or more. So why do you want to make $250,000? See, for the people that they're like, I have to make $250,000 because that's where the investment starts. That's where I'm able to start to make an impact in my family and savings and investing in real estate and saving for retirement and building a nest egg and generational wealth and a legacy for my kids. That starts at $250,000, and then I want to grow it from there. They have a stronger why, a stronger purpose. They're more likely to hit their goals and hit their outcome for their business and for their life. See, the strength of your why will determine your outcome. This is also why setting a reasonable goal sucks. See, when you look at your goal, when you look at that number you wrote down, you should feel two emotions. Number one, you should feel excited. You should be like, yeah, that number inspires me. That number excites me. I mean, if I made that amount of money, that would be life-changing. That's an inspiring goal. And the reason you need inspiring goals is because inspiring goals create inspired action. Do you know what reasonable goals create? Reasonable action. And do you know what reasonable action gets you? Exactly what you've always gotten. So you got to have a big goal, something that inspires you and pulls you forward. But the second component of that is you're going to have a big goal, but if you don't know why you want it and you haven't determined that what's going to change for you, for somebody that you love, for your family, for your kids, for your spouse, for the people that you care about in your life, what's something awesome you're going to do for yourself? What's something awesome you're going to do for somebody else? If you haven't determined why you actually want to make it, you'll quit when it gets hard. Not if, when it gets hard. And the second emotion you should feel when you're looking at that number is you should feel a little bit of fear. You should be inspired by it, but you should be looking at it going, crap, how am I going to do it? Oh my gosh, like that creates a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of fear, a little bit of uncertainty. And that's a good thing because that means you set a goal that's on the outside of your comfort zone. And here's what I can tell you. Everything that you want in business and in life is found on the outside of your comfort zone. How do I know? Because if it was found on the inside of your comfort zone, you'd already have it. But you want a better marriage? Get uncomfortable. You want to get healthy? Get uncomfortable. You want to lose weight? Get uncomfortable. You want to make more money? Get uncomfortable. When you set inspiring goals, they're going to scare you because they're on the outside of your comfort zone. And that's why the why is so important, because when the goal scares you, it's the why that keeps you going. It's the why that pushes you. It's the why that compels you forward. And a great example of this is our client, Olivia Russell. She's got an incredible story. An incredible story. When she came to us, she was a brand new agent, literally nothing in the pipeline. She'd been licensed for about 30 days. And when we talked with her, we're like, why do you want to do this? Like, what's driving you? And she goes, I have to do this. Her husband, Klaus Peter, works in construction in a very physical, demanding job. And she was looking at the toll that it was taking on his body and how it was aging him. And he was getting worn down faster. And they're young. They're not old. They're late 40s, late 40s. I mean, they're young. But she didn't want him to have to be in this physically demanding job year after year after year. She wanted him to be able to choose the jobs that mattered most to him and that would make the most money, but that weren't going to drive him into an early grave. And she broke down on the phone with my team and she's like, this is why I'm doing it. I have to make this happen. And literally in 10 weeks after working with us, nothing in her pipeline, she closed 2 deals, put 2 more under contract, and picked up 18 signed buyers. Oh, and she picked up her first listing in just 10 weeks. And now she's on pace to do 24, 25 deals, possibly 30 deals this year, her first full year in the business. Because her why keeps her moving forward. No matter what's going on, she keeps pushing because she remembers that I'm doing this for Klaus Peter. I'm doing this for his health, for my health, for our relationship. The strength of her why is determining her outcome. She was a store manager at a Walgreens. I don't know if you have Walgreens up there, but it's basically like a pharmacy, a neighborhood pharmacy, like a CVS. And that's what she was doing. And she quit and she went all in because the strength of her why was going to determine her outcome. So what is your why? When you look at that goal that you wrote down, when you look at the why, what you wrote down below it, you should be inspired. You should be like, yeah, that's going to get me going. That's going to keep me motivated. You've got to decide those 3 things. I'm going to evolve because I'm not going to do what everybody else is doing because it's not working. I'm going to decide that this is what I want my business to look like and this is why I want it. You make those 3 decisions, you're well on your way to a transformed business through the rest of 2020 and into 2021. But now, once you've made that decision, you're like, okay, I know what I want. I know why I want it. The next thing is you got to generate. You've got to be generating new business into your pipeline. You've got to put new people into the top of the funnel. And this is where most agents make the mistake, is they don't know how to go out and generate new business for, or new leads for their business. So what are you doing to generate new business for your pipeline? How will you generate new leads? New leads, that's the key word. Fresh blood into your pipeline. Look, I'm going to say it. Some of you have heard me say it before, and I'm going to just slaughter a sacred cow right now, is that it is absolutely crazy to build your business just off of repeat and referral business. Sorry to say it, but it's absolutely true. Real estate is the only industry in the world that thinks that's a good idea. Now, don't get me wrong. I love referral business. I love repeat business. I think that's awesome. But if you get more than max 60 to 70% of your business from referrals or past clients, you are in a very, very dangerous spot. Because when the market shifts, do you know what the number one source of the biggest, fastest thing to dry up is? Repeat referral business. It drops. How do I know? Because we saw it firsthand here in the States. Is in 08, 09, 2010, repeat and referral business went into the toilet. When the market shifts, people aren't referring, they aren't repeating, and you've got to know how to put new blood into the pipeline. You got to know how to go out, kill something, drag it home, throw it on the grill, and feed it to the family. And so I want you to get as many referrals as you possibly can. I want you to get as much repeat business as you can, but you also need to be thinking about, how do I put new blood, new people into the top of the funnel? Because if you don't, you're not in control of your business. I can ask you exactly how many referrals are you going to get next month, and the answer is I don't know. Exactly how many past clients are going to buy a house with you next year and call you next month, and you're like, I don't know. I can estimate it, I can guesstimate it, but I can't control it and I can't predict it. That's the problem. So I recommend no more than about 40 to 50% from repeat past clients. That means you've got to have 50%, 60% from some other source. Now, if you want to do 60 to 70% referrals, I still think you need to have 30, 40% from other things where you can control it, where you know that for every dollar invested, you can get X number of leads back, or for every number of calls you make or activities that you make, you can get X number of deals out of it. That's control over your business. So it's both and. It's not putting all of your eggs in a single basket. That is why I'm such an advocate of generating new leads into your business. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing is it starts by raising your visibility. You got to raise your visibility. So think of it this way. Your visibility gets you in the door, but it's your ability that's going to keep it there. So think of agents that aren't nearly as good as you, that you know at your core, you're like, man, I'm a better agent than her. I'm a better agent than him. But they have a bigger business. Why? Odds are good that they have more visibility than you have. So you have to raise your visibility. Now, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be good, because if you can be visible, you're going to get them in the door. But if you suck, they're just going to funnel right out. You're going to have a revolving door, and that's not what you want. You want to have the visibility to get them in the door, and then the ability to keep them there. That gets you the past clients, that gets you the referrals, that gets you people repeating with you and coming back to you year after year, deal after deal, and sending people your way. You want both visibility and ability. But how do we raise the visibility? It's very simple. It starts by using what we call an integrated marketing program. And this is something I created years ago to help our clients understand the difference in how to market their business versus how to just get referrals and past clients. So I love that, but you've got to be looking at this going, wait a minute, if my job is to put new people in the pipeline, I have to identify who I'm trying to work with. Who is my ideal client? So in this diagram, you're going to see in the middle of that circle is your ideal client. Who's your ideal client? And then around that person, what you're seeing is all those gray circles. Those are all potential touch points, all the different ways that you can be in front of them at the right time. And this is key. See, visibility is easy. visibility and context is critical. So visibility, I can raise your visibility like that. Just put your face on a bus bench ad, or on a bus bench, put your face on a shopping cart. That's going to raise your visibility. The problem is it's not raising your visibility in context. What you want to be thinking about is, if this is my ideal client right here, how do I get in front of them with my marketing, with my brand, with my personality, my message, my face, whatever it is? How do I get in front of them at the right time when they're thinking of buying, when they're thinking of selling? Because if they're at the grocery store and they got, the shopping cart, and they're like, oh, look, there's Joe. What they're going to do is they're going to take their spawn of Satan child and they're going to stick their butt right on your face, because in that moment, they're not thinking about, oh, let me give him a call. What they're thinking about is, I got to keep my kid from running down the store shelves and just like running their hand along and breaking everything. I got to keep them from running off. And the easiest way to do that is to stick their butt on your face. And so, yes, it's raised visibility, but the context is off. So context means that when somebody can respond to the ad, when somebody can respond to the marketing, when it's not just raising the visibility for visibility's sake, but it's getting in front of my ideal client at the time when they're most likely to be able to respond. So you have to be thinking about your marketing in this way. And by the way, there's 8 circles around this person in the diagram. That doesn't mean you have to have 8 different touch points or 8 different ways of marketing. What I'm trying to convey, you could have 18, you could have 8, you could have 3. I don't really care. The idea is you want some diversity, and you want to be thinking about, okay, when somebody's going to buy, when somebody's going to sell, where are they going and how can I be there so that it appears like I'm everywhere, because I'm everywhere in context. That's where you get the biggest bang for your buck. That's where you get the best results. So let me give you a couple of examples of what we see working magnificently well right now in those circles. So number 1 is Facebook ads. Facebook ads are absolutely killing it for our clients. Now, the really cool thing about you guys up in Canada and for our clients in Canada is, in the States, we lost the ability on Facebook to market demographically within the real estate industry. So if you're a real estate agent, you cannot target people based on zip code. You can't target people based on income. You can't target people based on, family status, any of that. In Canada, you still can. And so it's really cool because you have so much more power to target than we do here in the States. Now, our clients in both Canada and the US are crushing it with Facebook ads because they can target the right people at the right time in the right context, and that's getting them better results. And it raises their visibility. The second thing that's working exceedingly well is Google advertising. Because what do people do? They go to search engines and they search. And again, Google gives you massive control over who sees your ad, who doesn't see your ad. And so I'm a big believer that if you're ready to start investing into lead flow, Facebook ads and Google ads are 2 things you absolutely must be looking at. And those could be just 2 of those circles around. So now what I'm doing is I'm getting somebody when they're thinking about buying or selling, and it's in the context that they can respond to the ad. They can go to my website, they can pick up the phone, they can email, whatever it is, they can take action on that ad versus a bus bench, which raises visibility, but it's not in context. So you got to be thinking about what are all the ways to get in context in front of them. Email. So if I've got them on my email list, I'm trying to get them into my world. And then I want to keep them in my world. I don't want them going to other sites. I don't want them going back to any other site than mine to look for property, to get information. So I'm going to be emailing them, texting them, calling them, all different ways of touching them at the right time in the right context. That's the power of integrated marketing. That gives you control over your pipeline, and now you're always putting new people into the top and leveraging your referrals, leveraging your repeat business, leveraging your past clients, all of that. But you got to put them into the top. And this gives you the best way to be able to do that. Does that make sense? So you've got to set up an integrated marketing strategy. And a lot of people think, well, gosh, that sounds like it takes a lot of money. And it really doesn't. You can get away with a very low marketing budget. For most of you, you don't need to spend more than $500 a month, if that, into your marketing to generate new business into the top of the funnel, if you invest it well. And we're talking about being able to close 2, 3, 4, 5 deals a month or more from that investment. And it doesn't take a lot of money, it takes creativity. Great example of this is Kunal Patel, one of our coaching clients. And Kunal was a brand new agent. And when he came to us, he had a full-time job. It required him to travel. So he's a full-time job that requires him to travel, and he was an agent. He's like, I got to figure out how to do this. His first year in the business, he closed 50 sides with his full-time job because he got really creative with that integrated marketing. So he was in front of the right people at the right time, which maximized the time that he was investing into the business. And this year in 2020, just at the end of September, we don't know where he's going to end it in October, but we have a pretty good idea. He's already passed $43 million in volume just this year. He's going to crush. He's going to beat his goal for this year by about 25 to 30%. And his goal for next year is intense. It's amazing. And he's just on fire and crushing it. And one of the things that he did is he got really creative with that integrated marketing strategy. And he's like, in the beginning, he didn't want to spend a lot of money, but he wanted to get maximum play. So what he came up with is what we call the kids and moms strategy. And it sounds really perverted, but I promise you it's not as creepy as it sounds. And what ended up happening is he was a single guy, and he wanted to start running ads in those circulars, those neighborhood circulars that nobody reads, nobody sees the ads, but he's like, how do I get some play from this? So what he decided to do is, rather than just run ads for 25 bucks a month or 30 bucks a month in those neighborhood circulars, he went out and he joined Facebook groups, he joined mom groups, all sorts of things. And he started saying, hey, I'm a realtor in your neighborhood and I'm going to be running an ad in your neighborhood circular. And we would love to feature your kids in those ads just for fun. And it's great for the kids. It's just a fun thing we'd love to do. If you would like your kid to be featured, reach out to me. Well, the kids loved it. The parents are like, this is so cool. My kid can be in a magazine. They'll think it's great. And so what ends up happening is now this ad that nobody's going to see. What happens? The kid's face goes in there. And what do the parents do? They put it on the refrigerator. They share it with friends and family. They post it on social media. The kid's taking it to show and tell. Everybody's seeing that, like, oh my gosh, did you see Johnny's in the ad? And it created incredible traction. But more importantly, you know what it did? Is it created competition with the moms in the neighborhoods. Because now Johnny's friends see that Johnny's in the magazine, and now they want to be in the circular. They're like, wait a minute, I want to be in that too. So all of a sudden, the parents are reaching out to Kunal and going, how do I get my kid to show up in one of your ads? I want my kid to show up in one of your ads. And by building that relationship and building the relationship with the kids and the parents, he was getting massive clients from a $25 a month ad, referrals, repeat business. It blew up his business for 25 bucks on top of some of the other things he did. He does puppy kissing booths at live events. He's just really creative, and he doesn't have to spend a ton of money. He's just smart about where he spends it and how he does it. Now he's got a lot more intricate marketing, and he's got stuff where he's doing Facebook ads and Google ads and all sorts of things to really drive massive lead flow to support his team. But he didn't have to go there for a very long time because he got creative with that strategy. Now I told him, I was like, you got to be really careful with this because you're like one step shy of a van down by the river with free candy scrawled into the side. You don't want to be that guy. But in all seriousness, it worked extremely well for him to build his business with very little investment. So it doesn't take a lot. It just takes getting creative about how do I get my visibility out there in the right context at the right time in front of the people. And what he said is, he goes, you know what's cool is when their parents went to buy or sell, the kids were pissed if they didn't use Kunal, because Kunal was their friend. Kunal was the one who put him in the magazine. Kunal was the one who made their kid a celebrity. And the parents felt so much of a responsibility and they owed Kunal and they loved Kunal. He's just a personable guy that he got so much business from this. That's the potential. The third step is once you're filling the pipeline, you've then got to cultivate those leads. So you're getting new leads into the pipeline, but what do we know from lead generation? That there's only a handful of leads that are ready to go in the next 3 to 6 months. The rest of them are 6 to 26 months out from being ready to buy or sell. So your cultivation strategy is all about, okay, I've got all these people that I'm putting into the pipeline. How do I set it up so that I'm nurturing them for both short-term success and long-term success? How do you set it up for both? And you've got to have both a short-term strategy and that long-term strategy to get you where you want to go. Now, today, I'm going to talk with you about that short-term strategy because it's the short-term strategy that gets you the quick business. Now, don't neglect the long-term strategy. So the question you're answering here is, how can I provide value until somebody's ready to move forward? How can you provide value until somebody's ready to move forward? Think about that for a second. Now, the ultimate goal with this phase is really critical to understand. The goal with this phase is not to get a client. The goal of this phase is to get an opportunity or a meeting. This is where too many people screw it up, is they think the goal of nurturing the client or nurturing the lead is to get a client. It's not. And if that's what your marketing tries to do, is try and get them to go from we've just been introduced to become a client, it's too big of a gap, and you're going to turn people off. They're going to sense that you're only in it for the sale, not in it to serve, and they're just not going to respond to you. So what you have to think about is that everything that I'm doing, both short-term and long-term, is about how do I get the opportunity? How do I get them to respond to me, to meet with me, to engage with me? That's what I'm going for here. And if you can do that, it's an absolute game changer for the success that you're ultimately going to have from doing this stage. Now, again, we're going to talk about a short-term plan, but then once the short-term plan is done, everybody goes through the short-term plan. Once that's done, depending on how they respond, then I move them to a long-term nurture follow-up plan. So my goal in the short term is to identify the hot ones. I want to get the hot ones because the hot ones mean cash, mean income. Then I'm nurturing for long-term success, long-term viability, for a longer-term funnel and pipeline that's going to be steady, consistent, churning out leads or churning out clients, 6 months down the road, 7 months down the road, 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road. That's the power of that long-term nurture. But let's talk about that first 2 weeks when somebody comes in. So a lead comes in, what are you going to do over those first 2 weeks? Because that's going to give you your best bet of getting those hot ones, is what you do in the first 2 weeks. So let me give you an example plan. This is something we teach our clients, and it's something I'm going to teach you. Now, real quick, some of you are going to have a mild heart attack as you're looking at this. Hang with me, I'll explain it all. So here's what we want you to do. Day 1, lead comes in, you're going to make 2 calls. You're going to send 1 text message or a video text message and 1 video email. Now, I lost most of you right there. Hang with me, I'll explain it all. Then days 2 through 5, you're going to make 1 call a day plus send 1 text or 1 video email. Now, day 6 through 10, because you're going to take a couple days off, that's where the 2 weeks come in, 5 days a week for 2 weeks, 1 video email a day, and 1 text every other day. Now you can mix and match, you can do a call, just basically, something every day plus 1 other thing. You can mix it up with text, email, call, whatever it is, video, email, but you're mixing and matching. Now I know what you're thinking. Screw you, ain't gonna do it. And I understand. And here's why. There's a couple things most of you are looking at. Number 1 is this: 2 calls a day on day 1, plus a text message, plus a video email. I'm gonna piss them off and they're not gonna call me back. This is Canada. You can't do that. Yes, you can. And it's all about how you be a professional. And we have Canadian clients that do this and they understand how to do it. And I want to explain how this works. And this is really, really important. So let's say a lead comes in the morning. Can you make 2 calls in a day? Yes, but it's all about how you position it. So here's what this sounds like. Hey, it's Travis Robertson with REMAX, and I got your request for information on 123 Main Street, and I want to get that out to you. I had a couple quick questions, because if you're interested in that, I also have a few other properties I think you're going to love, but I don't want to waste your time and send you something that's not valuable. So give me a call back. It takes about 3 minutes, and I can ask you some questions and make sure I get you everything that you're looking for. And also, I'm going to shoot you an email and a text message in case those are better ways to get a hold of you. And if I don't hear back from you, I'll try you one more time before the end of the day. And again, look forward to serving you. If you need anything, best ways to get a hold of me is this, this, and this. Have a great afternoon. Have a great morning. Talk soon. Done. Now I can send a text message because I told him I was going to send a text message, and I can send a video email that says almost the exact same thing. Then all I have to do, if I don't hear back at the end of the day, I make another call. Hey, this is Travis Robertson with REMAX again, reaching out to you as I promised I would. Wanted to try and catch you before the end of the day. I've got a meeting starting here in about an hour, so I'll be available for another hour. Otherwise, I'll try you again in the morning in case that's a better time to get a hold of you. Look forward to serving you. Have a great afternoon. Done. So if I'm a professional about it, which all of you should be, I'm just doing the work that nobody else is going to do. Now, Is it true that some people might get upset? Yes. But were they your ideal client anyway? No. And we may as well figure it out now rather than 6 months down the road. I'd rather get a no than a no response. Because the no response, you don't know. Are you following up with the right people? Are you keeping in touch with the right people? But stop being afraid of the no. Be more afraid of a no response. The no doesn't hurt. Then I was like, okay, cool, no big deal. You aren't my ideal client. I'm going to go find the ideal client. Because if every month you're looking at it going, man, I want to put 3 new deals under contract every single month. I want to do 3 deals under contract or 5 deals under contract. I'm only looking for the 5 that I'm supposed to serve. The other people I talk to, if they're not ready, they're not ready. They're not my ideal client right now. I'm just looking for the ones that I'm designed to serve. You're just looking for the one. And if they get mad at you, it's like, cool, thank you for letting me know you're not one of the 5. I don't need you. Like, I'm okay. I'm going to hit my goal one way or another. I don't care if you yell at me or not. I'm just trying to serve you. I'm trying to help you. And if that pisses you off, you're not my ideal client. God bless, Godspeed, be good. Because I'm here to find the 5 that I'm supposed to serve. And clearly that's not you. Now, the second thing that most people are looking at is like, I'm not going to do that for 10 days. And I get that. So here's what I want you to do. 3 days. Do day 1 is exactly as it's laid out. And then days 2 and 3, just do 1 call a day plus 1 text or video email. That's it. Just do that. Just do that for 3 days. What that's going to give you is about 7 to 8 to 9 touches, depending on how you lay that out. And that's going to increase your chance of getting somebody to respond. All I'm looking for is respond to me. Tell me if you're 6 months down the road. Tell me if you're a year down the road. Tell me if you're just a tire kicker. I don't care. But if you're not, I want to identify that too. So I'm just trying to get somebody to respond back. And then as soon as they do, I stop. You're not going to keep this going. That'd be creepy. Instead, what you're going to do is as soon as they respond, now you know how to filter them and funnel them accordingly based on what their plans are. That's all I'm trying to figure out. Now, the second thing people are looking at is video. Like, yeah, I'm not going to do video. Or the third thing is, you're like, I'm not going to do video. And the reality is, this is a way to separate yourself from the rest of the market. Less than 5% of realtors are using video frequently and actively in their business. So if you want to separate yourself from 95% of the market, start doing video. And now they're getting a video text, they're getting a video email, they're getting something from you. And I'm a huge fan of BombBomb. I love BombBomb. I think it's a phenomenal platform and it's such a way of separating yourself from every other agent in the market. You do that, it's a total game changer. Then once I identify where they are, I can match them up with the long-term plan, the cultivation plan that makes sense for them until they're ready to give me the opportunity. I'm just going for the opportunity here, guys. That's what you're shooting for. That's step 4. How do you then convert them? So if the goal of stage 3 is to get the appointment or the opportunity, step 4 is then you've got to convert them, because leads don't pay the bills, appointments don't pay the bills, clients pay the bills. So you've got to get them from I've got the opportunity to they are a buyer, they are a listing, they're my client. So how do you convert them in this stage? That's the step 4 that we got to look at. So the question you're answering here is the question that Tiffany did a really good job answering, is why should they choose you? What do you offer that other agents don't? And here's the thing. I love when we ask people this, like, why should somebody choose you? And like, oh, I'm honest. I have integrity. I'm like, well, thank God. Like, every agent says that. Even the ones who aren't honest, who don't have integrity, you know what they say? Well, I'm honest. I have integrity. Everybody says that. So if you're just saying what everybody else is saying, if you can't really answer this question, your client can't either. So why should somebody choose you? What are you doing to separate yourself from everybody on the market? And there's so many ways to do this. But one of the things we want to do with our clients, and we help our clients do, is set themselves up to be the professional in a sea of amateurs. That's one of the biggest ways you can set. Like, how do you show up as a pro when everybody else is playing amateur ball? That's one of the things we want to do. So one of the things we really do with them is work on a pre-listing appointment strategy. And we've been teaching this for years, and it is an absolute game changer. It's a difference between showing up at like a listing appointment and just going, well, I wonder how many other agents they're interviewing. Hopefully I get the deal, and really throwing ethical elbows and being a total game changer. You want to be an absolute pro in a sea of amateurs, and this is a great way of doing it. So Most agents, when they set an appointment, sound something like this of, okay, we'll take a look at your house. I'll be there, 5 o'clock on Friday. Look forward to meeting you in between today and Friday. What do they do? Nothing. Maybe call to confirm the appointment. But a lot of agents don't even call to confirm the appointment. Why? Because they're afraid of the appointment canceling. And they're like, oh, maybe if I... So their whole strategy is show up and hope they forgot to call and cancel the appointment and feel so bad that they let me in to have the appointment. That's a horrible strategy. That's amateur. So we want to play pro level. So here's what our clients do. The minute they set the appointment, they hang up the phone, like, great, see you at your house, 123 Main Street, 5 o'clock on Friday. Then they hang up and they send a video email to confirm the appointment. Hey, just want to put a face with the name. Super excited to meet with you. Friday, 5 o'clock, 123 Main Street. If there's anything you need in the meantime, here's the best ways to get a hold of me. And I'm going to be sending you some stuff in the mail, in the email over the next couple of days to really help you prepare for our time and get the most out of our time together. So be on the lookout for that. And again, if you need anything, you have all the best ways to get a hold of me. Look forward to serving you guys and talking to you soon. Done. They send that out. Then they're going to send a package via registered mail. Why registered mail? They have to sign for it. And what is the value of that? 100% open rate. Nobody ever's like, I wonder what this is. Sign for it, trash. They are automatically, I wonder what this is. They're going to rip it open and they're going to see what it is. And in there are going to be all sorts of value adds that I don't have time to get into right now, but think about what are all the things that I could give them that are going to separate me from everybody else on the market. They're going to make them excited to meet with me. Then the third thing I want to do is I'm going to email a client testimonial video. So why a client testimonial video? Because they expect you to say you're awesome, but when your clients are saying you're awesome, it's a total game changer. You're letting your clients do the work for you. And that can go a long way to getting in the door and breaking down the concern that they might have about, can he or she really do the job? Are they really going to service and take care of us? Then you're going to email a how to prepare for our meeting instruction. So here's exactly how you prepare for a meeting. Why is that important? Because in there is going to be one key, a bunch of things, but one thing in specific. Have an extra set of keys available. Why? Because I'm leaving, you don't say this, but this is what you're effectively saying is have an extra set of keys available because I'm leaving with the listing. I'm leaving with the signed contract. I'm going to be your agent. I don't even doubt it. Have a set of keys ready because you're going to choose me and that's what's going to happen. And then you're going to call or video email to confirm the appointment. That's the value. Like if you did this or even half of these things, when you show up at that door, you're not showing up as a stranger. You're showing up as somebody they're like, wow, let him in, let her in. We feel like we know you. We feel like there's more to you than what we've seen from other agents in the market. That's what we call throwing ethical elbows. My job is to not make everybody, it's not to make every other agent look good. It's to make them look like an amateur, make you look like a pro. So these are just some of the ways that you're saying, here's why you choose me, because I play at a different level. They play down here, I play up here. Which do you want representing you? It's your choice. If you want to play with the bottom basement dwellers, cool. Love you, bless you, send you on your way. You're not my client. I'm looking for the people who understand what it's like to work with a pro, and that's up here. Period, plain and simple. Does that make sense, guys? So that's what we're doing here. Step 5 is this. Once you've got leads coming in, you've got deals flowing in, you have a system set up, you're nurturing, you're cultivating, you've got the short term that you're popping for quick cash, you've got the long term that you're nurturing for a longer term pipeline that you're building up, you've got your referrals, you've got your repeat business. The 5th step is now you have to scale it up. Now you got to scale it up. Where do you really want to take your business? And the question you're answering here is, how do I increase my income, my time, and my freedom? How do you increase those 3? How do you increase your income, your time, and your freedom? Oh, and one more, your fun. Because if this isn't fun, why are you doing it? And so scaling up isn't just about making more money, because money doesn't make you happy. It can help, don't get me wrong. It buys nice stuff and that can help, but it's not ultimately going to serve you if you don't have the time you want, the freedom you want, or the fun you want. If you're making all this money, but you don't have time, you don't have freedom, you don't have fun, you have a really expensive prison that you're in. So scaling your business is about increasing all 4 of these things, not just 1, not just 2, not just 3, all 4 of them. Because when you have a business that's fun and that's giving you freedom, that's giving you income, that's giving you time, That's a joy. That's where your blessing or your business becomes a blessing and not a curse. That's where you have a business funding your life, not running your life. So there's 3 core steps, and we're going to move through this quickly for building a high performance team. So if you decide, this is what I want to do. I want to make it happen. 3 steps. And this is why we started with the first 4 steps first, because the first step in building a high performance team is you must become a master lead generator. Period. If you think your agents are going to go out and crush it month after month, year after year, generating their own leads and stay on your team, you got a whole nother thing coming for you. Because that's not the way they operate. The number one reason people join a team is they need leads. If they knew how to generate leads, they'd be less likely to join a team. So you've got to become a master lead generator. That's why integrated marketing is so important, because now you control your lead flow. You can throttle it up, throttle it back whenever you're ready for it. And a team that you can feed leads to is a team that can grow, that can scale, and that can make you the money you really want to make. And it makes them the money that they want to make and gives them certainty, gives them confidence, gives them the ability to just focus on serving the clients and not stressing about where their next deal is going to come from. So you must become a master lead generator. If you can't control your lead flow, you are not ready for a team. Step number 2 is this. Then you hire an admin and you build out systems. So when you have more leads than you can manage, or when you know you can generate more leads than you can manage, now you're ready for your first hire. And your first hire is always, 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 always an admin. And you let them build out your systems for you. You suck at building. Most of you suck at building systems. You're salespeople. You're people. You want to go out. You love the kill. You love the sale. You love the people. You love the relationship. You hate the paperwork. You hate the systems. So find somebody who that's their passion and let them build out the systems for you. But for those of you that want more, you want to build a sales team, step 3, now, once you've got the leads, once you've got the admin and the systems, now you can build out your dream team. Now you can start looking at salespeople. Now you can start looking at, because I've got the systems to manage them, I've got the leads to support them, and I've got the admin who can help them do what they're not good at, which is the administrative paperwork, transaction to close, all of that stuff, or contract to close. All of that can be an admin and systems. And now you can focus on building out your dream team. 3 steps, that's it. You get any one of these out of order, and that's where every single problem comes in with building a successful, well-structured team. And that's why most teams become a curse and not a blessing. So guys, I know we move fast. I wish I had more time. I wish I could have been with you live, but now you have a choice. Right now, my team has set aside time. You can go back to doing what you've always done and hoping it works out differently, or you can decide that 2021 is going to be a different year for me. I want more for my business. I want more for my life. And if that's you, my team has set aside some time to speak with you about how you can apply all of these ideas into your business starting today. And look, whatever your biggest challenges are, guys, we've seen it and we know how to overcome it. Plain and simple. There's nothing we haven't faced, nothing we can't help you overcome. And on this session, we're going to work with you for 60 minutes to craft a step-by-step game plan to hit your income goals, whether that's $250,000, $500,000, or $1 million or more. And we're going to show you how to do it in less time so you can invest that into yourself, into your loved ones, into what really matters more, so you can have the income, the freedom, the fun, and the time. All of that's available. And if you want to take advantage of that, and we've got a bunch of free gifts for you. We call it our 2021 Success Kit. We want to give it to you as our way of saying thank you. It includes the breakthrough session, plus access to a private Facebook group, a business planning, some business planning tools, weekly live training, so much more that we want to give you as our way of saying thank you. If that's you, all you have to do is text the code REMAXCA to the number you see on the screen, and we're going to serve you. We're going to love you. Follow the instructions in the text message. Just follow it exactly like it says. And I promise you, we're going to reach out to you, get you everything you need, get you scheduled for your breakthrough session. Let's make 2020. Let's finish it strong and make 2021 your best year yet. Thank you guys. God bless you. Have a phenomenal rest of the conference. And I look forward to seeing you all live at some point in the future. Hey, REMAX Canada.
Hey, how about that Travis Robertson? What a great job he did. Thank you so much, Travis, for putting that time and effort into that, and hope as you said, hope to see you in person again soon. So, are we having fun yet?
Oh, hey, have you seen Craig Pilgrim and the REMAX Run for Kids? I mean, I've been trying to look for them all morning. I just can't see that whole group anywhere to be found.
If you haven't met him before, Kingsley Ma, director at REMAX Western Canada. He's a funny guy. He's dressed for the run for the kids for today. So I don't know what to say. If he you know what? Here's a guy. He's claiming he's here for the run for the kids. Here's a guy who lives a block from the office, drives his car every single day. So that's kind of an athlete we're talking about here. But he will make a sacrifice to run for the kids.
Exactly.
And by the way, the totals are just going crazy on the fundraising. You guys are doing an awesome job. We're up to around $15,000 raised already. So congratulations. I wish I could see your faces, but we aren't able to do that. But while I've got you here, Kingsley, something I'd like you to explain to everyone. Kingsley was instrumental in getting the Young Leaders Network going, along with a couple of other people, Wade and Kaylee in our regional office. Maybe you can give me a little bit of background on that. And by the way, if you haven't met Kingsley before, you haven't seen him, you probably are not on social media. Because you can't go anywhere on social media without seeing this guy's face. He's there, he's present, he's everywhere. And, you know, we're going to talk a little bit about some of your Facebook Live presentations. But explain first to the audience here about the Young Leaders Network and what that's all about.
Yeah. So when we were, going back now more than a year now, we see that, millennials are actually buying up approximately 40 to 50% of, the purchases all the transactions that's going on. And also, for those that know, we host what we call a sales associate orientation once, a couple times a year. And there's more and more of the younger generation rising stars coming into industry. So we were thinking maybe we should have something that's catered to the group. And saying that, I mean, you guys, for those that's been around for a couple years now, it's always good to get that extra help from your peers to help you get better faster. And everyone wants to be successful coming into industry. So that's the mindset of creating the Young Leaders Network originally.
So how do I get to be a part of it?
Well, Roy, you really can't be a part of it because unfortunately it's 40 years and under. In fact, I'm kind of phasing out myself. But,
what are you saying?
Well, we'll try to figure out another group for Roy.
Okay. What we are going to do, though, that leads us into we're going to give out a prize. Just stick with me for a second here. We're going to give away our second our prize giveaway, and then we're going to show you the results of one of our Facebook Live presentations with a true young leader who's just done a phenomenal job with her business moving forward. Now, why don't we do that first, and we'll give the prize away afterwards? Because we've got a video here with Katrina Amaro from REMAX 2000 in Surrey, BC.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep. And she's going to give a couple quick tips for everybody here, and on how she built her business to become successful.
All right. Let's roll the clip.
Katrina Amaro from REMAX 2000 in Surrey, BC.
And I felt that if I wanted to be successful, I have to align myself with a big brand and a company that would support my success. So after interviewing, I was, at that time I was like so into training versus brand and cost and all that. But I thought, okay, you know what? I got to go all in. And I gotta align myself with the best. I don't have to mess around with this. This is my life. And so I joined REMAX 2000 and there's no looking back since. Well, it was a progression. Really, it just showed in the last 5 years ago that when we started really, where it showed that we grew. But really, the 10 years before that, it's the roots, the foundation. We were building the foundation, and then it just, it's like a bamboo where for years you wouldn't see anything, and then it will just sprout out, grow. And that's what happened to us, is that we were building the foundation. So building a team is being able to, first of all, it was overflowing because we marketed ourselves. Now we have more business. Now that we have more business, we're able to, help other realtors with their businesses. And so we built a team so we can help other realtors build their business. We built a team so then we have someone to help us help our clients. So then we can take care of ourselves. And we are big on making sure that every member of our team also live the same lifestyle as we do, where we take days off, we have time, we have vacation time where it's true vacation time, and we also collaborate together as a team. As a team, we are better. It's not just 1 + 1 = 2. I feel like, 1 + 1 = 4.
Some great words of wisdom for another rising star in the REMAX organization. Thank you so much, Katrina. Okay, as I mentioned before, we're going to get back to the program here and talk about and give away a prize. First of all, how many of you? Because this was one of the early aggravations I had with the whole COVID experience. Working from home. And I quickly discovered in probably the first week that I did not have a great chair in my home office. And that was one of my first purchases after about a week of sitting on an uncomfortable chair and doing all business from home and everything else going on. So if I'd have known about Branch Furniture and all the great office equipment and chairs that they have there, I certainly would have made as those of you have the opportunity to, because Branch has given everybody a 5% discount on anything that they order. So check out their booth, and we are going to give a prize of a Branch chair, office chair, so you can be comfortable in your home office even when I'm not. And that winner is Kumar Amit from REMAX Saskatoon in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. So congratulations. Again, we will ship that out to you. We won't expect you to come and pick it up. As I mentioned, donations are up to about over $15,000. That's just absolutely crazy. Thank you for your generosity, by the way. So I want to hit on something. I was just informed that we passed the 1,800 mark in terms of people who've come and gone, and we don't expect everybody to stay here all day, but you're logging in, you're having a look at what you want to see, and that's exactly what we hope to provide to you, a day's worth of good information, entertainment, and all the rest of it. So pick and choose what you want to do, but I want to just make a mention of something that took place last night. There's a group called the social people who attend REMAX Activate, and they like to have parties, and they've treated this online convention as same way as they would treat the live convention. So they had their get-together. Keith Setter and Pam Stadnick love to organize those get-togethers. They got together last night, and here's the interesting part, though, about those kinds of things, and that's an experience a lot of people come to convention for, and they want to have that camaraderie, that network, and meeting with friends that you haven't met with in a long period of time. When it comes to the next morning, though, that's where we get the lower attendance sometimes at the opening sessions in the morning. So I'm shouting out to all you people who were at that Activate party last night. I'm very sorry I couldn't make it. I had some other things to take care of last night. But certainly, I hope that you were all here at 8:30 sharp when we started this morning, and I'll just leave it at that. So enjoy. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And I love, though, that people are treating this the same way that they would as a typical live Activate conference. So we are going to move forward here and talk a little bit about By the way, we're taking a break in a little bit for those of you who are crossing your legs right now and you need to go. But I think you want to see this next little bit here because we're here because of circumstances that are totally out of our control. And the fact that we have had a worldwide pandemic has curtailed the ability for anybody to have a large gathering of any sort. So here we are looking at alternatives to live gatherings. And so our biggest challenge, as I mentioned before, is the fact that we can't sort of see each other face to face. So we're going to roll into a highlight reel of some of the past Activates, the conferences that we've had, and hopefully you'll spark some memories and you'll think of some things that will take you back to that time 5, 10 years ago, whatever it was, and how you were feeling and what was happening. So if we have that video ready, let's have a look at REMAX Activate Conventions.
Hush now, don't say a word. I've got the mic, it's my time to get heard. Hush now, the tables have turned.
That was okay. Please, continue talking about me.
Can you hear the silence breaking from the ground? We're rising up. I got the power. Got the power. I got the power. I'm the force. I'm the reckoning. No one's gonna stop me. No, 'cause
15 years ago, I joined REMAX, and I didn't know anybody, basically. And now I feel like I'm coming to a family reunion.
watch out, I'm coming your way. I'll still be marching on my judgment day. I stay strong, though the levee may break. Come hell or high water, I'll be fighting for change. 'Cause there's a fire raging. Can you hear the sound?
Very enlightening, awesome tech sessions, learn lots.
REMAX is just one great big family and everybody's having a blast networking.
I got the power, got the power, I got the power. I'm the force, I'm the reckoning. No one's gonna stop me, no, 'cause I got the power.
Doesn't want to shake. I'm ready. I pulled a few moves from there. You're gonna see it on the dance floor tonight.
No one's gonna stop me, no, 'cause I got the power. I got the power. I got the power. No one's gonna stop me, no, 'cause I got the power. I got the power. I'm the force, I'm the reckoning. No one's gonna stop me, no, 'cause I got the
Ha. Okay, just before we head to break, I want to remind you of a couple of things that are coming up here, and I'm just, I get excited when I see those videos, and it just makes me start dancing, and I don't care what that Kingsley guy says. I'm gonna go to the Young Leaders Network anyway, just because. You also have choices to make now if you want to. First up, we've got Unlocking REMAX Systems and Tools with Noel Nissen. And as we know, Noel's the guru when it comes to comes to tools and the technology involved at REMAX, and he's going to be, after his session, will be available live for you to ask questions, and he will answer those for you. Then we have Impactful Communication by Wade Patterson. A great presentation if you haven't seen this. And today, if you're not using the tools or the technology, the video in particular, and things like that, that you owe it to yourself to get going and do that. The Young Leaders Network, it's a great panel session with also some rising stars in the industry. And then lastly, if you're a broker or a manager, pop in to Build Your Business with Nick Bailey. So you have choices there. As I said, that's going to be the hardest thing for you to do this today, that you're going to have to do today is pick the one that you want. And you know what? Here's it. If you get into one and you decide you want to go to a different one, you can just get out and go back to the other. That's the beauty of technology, right? That's why we're doing everything that we're doing here. So I'm going to kind of wrap things up here for this section. We're going to take about a 15-minute break, and there's going to be a countdown clock that you'll see on this session. So enjoy yourselves, have a bite to eat, have a, go hug your kids, kiss your dog, whatever you need to do right now. And we'll see you back here in roughly 15 minutes. So thank you. Bye for now.
We love this house.
Stunning, isn't it?
What do you know about the schools in the area? When was this house built?
19.
Have questions about buying a home right now? Wondering what you can afford? At CIBC, a dedicated mortgage advisor will guide you through the process and help show you what's possible. Visit CIBC.com/mortgages to learn more.